Hey, what's going on, guys? I asked and you answered. Today, we are starting off our month of checking out Vince before we get back to Mac. So, we're starting off with Nate. This was suggested by Cesar Fuentes, who asked me to check out the Stolen Youth album. I'm excited to take a look through that because, from what I understand, Mac produced some of the tracks on there. So, we still getting a little bit of Malcolm in our Mondays. So, don't you guys worry. But without any further ado, let's get right into this. Let's see what Nate is all about. Let's see what Vince Staples has to say. Let's get it.
As a kid, all I wanted was the killer man. Be like my daddy friends, hopping out that minivan. Chrome 30.
Okay, hold up. That's all the way up. Feels a little soft. Let's bring it back.
As a kid, all I wanted was the killer man. Be like my daddy friends, hopping out that minivan. Chrome 38, spinning like a ceiling fan. Crying on my mama phone, swaying. He a different man, talking to me, mom.
I like the feel. Nice flow coming in. Clean delivery. The instrumentals got something interesting going on where I'm feeling this slight buzzing around my right ear. I'm not sure if I'm just going crazy or if there's an instrument that was panned within the instrumental and it just feels a little bit heavier to the right. But I've been feeling that a lot lately. I think it might just be me. Let's keep it going.
Man, be like my daddy friends, hopping out that minivan. Chrome 38, spinning like a ceiling fan. Crying on my mama phone, swaying. He a different man, talking to me monotone. Hardly ever coming home. Knew he was the villain, never been a fan of Superman. Beating on my mama in the kitchen, screaming, bitch, you better listen.
Okay, interesting. So it sounds like he's talking from this perspective of this kid Nate. Maybe Nate is a fictionalized version of Vince as a child. And we're getting a lot about his father, talking about not coming home, talking about being a villain, and then talking about Superman beating on his mom. Let's bring it back just a little bit. This is very cool.
Never coming home, knew he was the villain, never been a fan of Superman. Beating on my mama in the kitchen, screaming, bitch, you better listen.
Knew he was the hold up. That's an interesting flip.
Monotone, hardly ever coming home. Knew he was the villain, never been a fan of Superman.
Knew he was the villain, never been a fan of Superman. Nice feel there.
A fan of Superman, beating on my mama in the kitchen, screaming, bitch, you better listen when I speak my mind. Used to think he was unbreakable, he did fair time, but made sure nigga play was full and not shine. While walking in the first day of school, new J.
Okay, so he's talking about, he's beating on my mom's in the kitchen. He's making sure there's food on the plate. Very interesting relationship to like kind of just glaze over, like, oh yeah, he's smacking her around, he's talking some trash, and then he's like, oh, but I got food on my plate and shit. I don't know. Let's keep it going.
Made sure nigga play was full and not shine. While walking in the first day of school, new J's and all of that. Football was cornerback, never made a game. I played for Compton High, but my daddy was the man that would be suicide. Pick me up for visitation in the newest ride. Always told.
Damn, man. Says something about suicide. Hold up. So maybe his dad, killed himself, passed away at some point. We got his man's on the triple beam right here, scaling everything out. Who knows? And it's coming out like a little prescription bottle. Interesting.
Pick me up for visitation in the newest ride. Always told me daddy loved me, fuck his foolish pride. As a kid, all I wanted was the killer man. Cause my daddy did it, eyes bloodshot. But the
Said as a kid, all I wanted was to kill a man because my daddy did it. So I think as this song progresses, we'll see a flip at some point to where Nate or, maybe Vince, whoever this story is really based on, is going to start to see the failings of his father as opposed to the benefits where we got his dad scaling out, I don't know, crack or coke, whatever, on the beam scale right there. You know, talking about like I said, how he just straight passed up the comment about his dad beating on his mom. So maybe around the halfway point, we'll kind of see a change in attitude where he starts wanting to change and be better than his father, rather than right now where it sounds like he's looking up to his father.
The caddy tenant, fuck handouts, fuck the county building, never seen that. Catch a ride around the city with the seat back, with the seat back, with the seat back. Catch a ride around the city with the seat back, with the seat back, with the seat back. Catch a ride around the city with the seat back. As a kid, all I wanted was 100 grand. Uncle counting money while my daddy cutting grams. Made me promise that the
100 grand to daddy cutting grams. Nice bars, man. Super clean delivery. I love the flow. And after we got into a little bit, it doesn't feel so heavy on the right side. And everything feels like pretty much the right volume. I can hear Vince clearly. I can hear the instrumental. I wish there was a little bit more depth to it. It's pretty two-dimensional and flat right now. I think we could have, you know, added some additional layers, but maybe those will come as the song progresses.
was 100 grand. Uncle counting money while my daddy cutting grams. Made me promise that the shit would never touch my hands, and it never did. Said it make me be a better man. Smoking in the crib, hiding dip inside of soda cans. Black.
Okay, wait, hold up. Right here.
That the shit would never touch my hands, and it never did. Said it make me be a better man. Smoking in the crib, hiding dip inside of soda cans. Black bandana on his arm, needle in his hand. Mama trying to wake him up, young, so I ain't understand why she wouldn't let my daddy sleep. Used to see him stand out in the alley through my window, drinking him with his homies, blowing cig smoke. Lights flash.
Okay, this is cool, man. And you know, the video is great as well. We don't have anything too crazy going on in it, but just kind of showing life. And we got some nice shots, you know, riding down the street on the bike, and, you know, clean cuts. Nothing super crazy about it, but nice. Let's see. Let's feel
in his
it.
hand. Mama trying to wake him up, young, so I ain't understand why she wouldn't let my daddy sleep. Used to see him stand out in the alley through my window, drinking him with his homies, blowing cig smoke. Lights flash, now we running from the Winslows. Hear him screaming for my mama at the back door. Sometimes she would.
Interesting. Now we running from the Winslows. Is that a reference to shoot? I believe, what's that show called? The show with Urkel on it, right? And then the dad is a cop and the family is the Winslows. Is that the reference he's making there? Let me know in the comments what y'all think.
Blowing cig smoke, lights flash, now we running from the Winslows. Hear him screaming for my mama at the back door. Sometimes she wouldn't open it, sitting on the couch, face emotionless. I don't think they ever noticed that I noticed it. As a kid, all I wanted was 100 grand.
And interesting, talking about how he don't think they noticed that he noticed it, which is interesting. You know, just talking about, it's a very calm and monotone delivery of what sounds like a very stressful environment to grow up in, where, you know, assuming that my understanding of these references are right, you got your daddy, he's scaling out coke, maybe cooking crack. There's, you know, cops running up on the house. Your mama won't let him in the back door when he's trying to get away, and you got all this going on around you, and you a little kid growing up riding your bike around, just seeing all this happen. And to one extent, it becomes normal, right? If it's what you always see, it's what you're going to be used to. But on the other hand, like, something in you's got to know that something ain't right there. Like, something's gone twisted. And it's a very calm and stoic delivery, which might again reinforce that desensitized understanding of what's going on.
I don't think they ever noticed that I noticed it. As a kid, all I wanted was 100 grand. Cause my daddy did it, eyes bloodshot, with the caddy tenant, fuck handouts, fuck the county building, never seen that. Catch him ride around the city with the seat back, with the seat back, with the seat back. Catch him ride around the city with the seat back, with the seat back, with the seat back. Catch him ride around the city with the seat back.
I like that line too, though. Catch him riding around the city with the seat back. I got a couple boys where like they ride, it's just all the way lean back. Like man be looking for his merges out the rear window of the whip. Like he's hitting in he's driving from the back seat basically. Oh.
With the seat back.
Let's bring this back to the beginning of this little section here. This is crazy, man. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. Where like now we got like now we finally got that emotion pouring out. We've reached that climax, that point where everything spills over, the action's done rising. It's time, for consequences or whatever you might say. And his dad being pulled out into the cop car, his mom yelling at his dad, pulling him in the house because he got home right as all of this happening, and a full just emotional shift in the track with sounds like we got a synth coming through and a couple other things. Let's hear it out. Interesting. Okay. And then there was a line in here that sounded like something like "pass it down to my kid." Oh, hold up. Let's bring this back.
But the caddy tenant, fuck handouts, fuck the county building, never seen that. Catch him ride around the city with the seat back, with the seat back, with the seat back. Catch him ride around the city with the seat back, with the seat back, with the seat back. Catch him ride around the city with the seat back.
Yo. Bruh. That was crazy, man. Like I was saying at the beginning, for a while there, it's very monotone and flat. But then once you finally get to the end, that impact of that like choral section hits so much harder because all the way running up to it, we had that monotone type of energy. And it just fully reshapes the song there with that emotional break of his dad getting arrested, him going into the house to lay down, his parents arguing while the cops pulling him out the house. Beautiful track, amazing video, and something I'm going to be listening to many more times. Thank you again to Cesar Fuentes for suggesting Stolen Youth as a project. Leave some more suggestions for Vince in the comments down below. We got 3 weeks left. Make sure y'all hit like, hit subscribe, hit that bell if you want to see more videos like this. Much love to everybody in the No Shoes gang, and I will see you all next time.